with y'all? What's good? What's good? Now I want to come on here real quick and I just want to talk about a few tips that I wish I had known before I started my locs. Now don't get on my voice. I was sick over the weekend. I'll drop a video about that later on. Now, tip number one, as to the things that I wish I knew before I started my locs, was take pictures, bro. You gotta realize that your hair is symbolic of your growth. This is a new journey that you're embarking on, okay? The longer your hair gets, your hair marks different time periods of your growth, okay? So the longer your hair gets, the more evolved and the more mature of a person that you become, okay? People start locks from two-strand twists, right? When you start the locks from two-strand twists, you see a very two-strand twist-like pattern. Over the course of 6 months to a year to even 5 years, that pattern starts to dissipate. Why? Because it starts to become more mature. The same with you. You start to become more mature as a person, and you want to take pictures in order to mark these time periods in your life. Me personally, when I look at a picture of myself and my hair from last year, I'm able to tell you where I was mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and financially during that time period. Tip number two, take advice from the people who have good results. Don't manipulate your hair too much using everybody else's advice, all right? If you see somebody with great locks, that's the type of advice you want to follow. For example, like even if the person watching this video, if you even like my locks, you might want to listen to me. Now, obviously, I'm still learning. I'm still acquiring more knowledge. I think I'm about 14 to 15 months locked and things like that. I started my lock journey August 14th, 2021. So I'm about 15 months locked and things like that. And even then, I'm still learning, I'm still inquiring and acquiring more information. So with that being said, you want to listen to somebody who has great experience, who has great results, and somebody who's on their shit, okay? You may see somebody with great results who use beeswax, and this is why it's very important to take what's yours and disregard what isn't, because beeswax is like fucking hair glue, okay? And when you put too much products into your hair, it literally becomes wrapped into your lock and it can damage your hair, okay? It can literally damage your whole entire lock. You might have to get it cut off, whatever the case may be. I'm not gonna get into all that. But with that being said, you wanna just listen to people who have great results, who have a great journey, and take that information and build upon that with your own hair, because everybody's hair is different. Tip number three, everybody's hair is different, okay? Nobody's lock journey is gonna be the same. Nobody's hair journey is gonna be the same, period, okay? It doesn't matter how you started your hair, that's just how you started your hair, okay? Everybody's hair texture is different. You can't judge somebody's hair texture by, oh, I have the same hair texture as you. Like, no, everybody's hair texture, everybody's everything is different, okay? So you just wanna take specific advice, like I said, from certain people, and you wanna apply it to your hair, and you wanna freak it, because it's your journey. This is your lifestyle. Having locks is a lifestyle. It's not just, oh yeah, I'm doing it for the trend. No, locks is a very spiritual and sacred hairstyle that has a lot of esoteric meaning, and it's something that should be held within high regard. Everybody's hair is different. You shouldn't be discouraged about, oh, why is my shit not locking up yet? Or why does my hair keep unraveling? Everybody's journey is different, okay? Some people, such as people with more straight hair, their hair doesn't mat up as easily, okay? Because you have to realize that locks are the most natural style that your hair could ever be in, okay? Specifically for people who have very, black hair as me. Our hair is made to nat up. Why? Because our hair produces electricity, is a conductor of electricity, okay? So when the little hair follicles come into each other, you're literally producing more electricity, because you're an electromagnetic being, and your hair is an extension of your nervous system. So with that being said, you're able to scan the environment much better because of the amount of electricity that is being conducted from your crown. So to reiterate one more time, everybody's lock journey is different, and you can't use anybody else as a foundation or as a basis for where you'll be within that time period. If you watch a 6-month lock video, there's no guarantees that your hair will be as far as the person you see on the video. Or hell, your hair may be farther evolved or more mature within that 6-month time period than the person on the video. The next tip is protect your hair. Protect your hair at all costs, okay? You gotta realize that when you're sleeping, things such as your pillowcase or your sheets or your bed can strip away the moisture from your locks, from your hair, period. Okay, so with that being said, when you go to sleep, you either want to wear a bonnet or a scarf or a do-rag, or you wanna sleep with a satin pillowcase and things like that, just to lock in all the moisture from your hair. Okay, because when it escapes, your locks get dry, and we don't want dry locks over here. Now, me personally, what works the best for me is a satin bonnet. This way, like I said, you can trap in all the moisture, none of it gets out, and you're gonna wake up with your hair just being very like luscious and very like, it's gonna be very fluffy, you know what I'm saying? And that's the segue into the next tip. You wanna moisturize your hair, okay? Now, I'm not going out of my way to say that you should moisturize your hair literally every single day. I already dropped a video about how to get rid of dandruff and how to moisturize your hair so that you won't have dry and itchy scalp. But what I'm trying to say is you should definitely moisturize your hair at least every other day or multiple times a week, okay? Like I said, your hair is like a plant, all right? And if the plant doesn't get the amount of nutrients, the right amount of nutrients it needs in the form of water and sunlight, then it's gonna die. Because your hair is like a plant and it grows outside, it grows up and out the same way a plant does, you have to treat it as such. So with that being said, you want to give your body what it needs. You want to moisturize your hair using rose water or apple cider vinegar, or you want to just regular water. You want to oil your scalp, and some people don't even oil their scalp. Okay, some people, that's just what works for them because that's their lock journey. For me personally, I went from using Jamaican castor oil to using tea tree oil, and that's just what works for me. There was a point in time where I was very heavily focused on wanting my locks to grow. Now, I just want my locks to be moisturized, and I know that the growth will soon follow, and that's just what it is for me. After that, I wouldn't recommend you do this when you have starter locks, but when your locks are more mature and more healthy and things like that, I recommend that you also brush your hair too. Brushing your hair has many benefits, such as being able to spread and more evenly distribute the oils from the bottle, obviously, onto your scalp. So when you oil your scalp and things like that, you could take the brush and you could just start brushing all the hairs into their designated pre-parted sections if you have that. And that'll just help your locks to moisturize as well as your scalp be very maintained and moisturized, and it won't smell and things like that. The next tip is, I don't recommend retwisting your hair too often. Now, me personally, I think it's great that people have super maintained locks, but for the look that I'm trying to go for, I don't want to have my locks maintained like that. I want to get to the point where I don't get retwists at all, okay? I think retwists are great, but it's manipulating your hair in such a way that it's just tugging on the new growth, okay? And when you tug on the new growth, it creates a lot of tension and friction in your scalp. So me personally, as well as the fact that I like my hair to be super thick, and retwists over time thin out your hair. So with that being said, I want to be able to get to a point where I don't have to retwist my hair at all, and I want my hair to be super long and luscious and just thick. So with that being said, I try to get retwists once every 2 months, if that. The last time I got a retwist or even had my hair maintained at all was when I got my hair interlocked. And interlocking is a process whereby you take the lock and you loop it through the base of the lock so that all the new growth can lock itself in, as opposed to it being retwisted in all the time. Now, interlocking is very beneficial, and that's the route that I chose to go. When you have starter locks, it is more natural for your hair to have to be manipulated just a little bit more than somebody who had their locks for a year. But over time, as your hair starts to become more mature, you're gonna find that you don't really need to, retwist your hair, because it is keeping its natural shape. Over time, your hair figures itself out, so it knows how to be maintained in a protective style, right? If you cut your hair is still used to being locked up, so it's gonna grow back in locks, and that's just how it is, because it's been trained to do so. And the last tip is to embrace your hair. Okay, this is a start of a new journey. You're embarking on a new quest. You're embarking on a new mission. This is player one. This is new quest, new game. You just started the new game. You feel me? This is your evolution from when you have your locks to when you don't. There are people who never cut their hair off ever in their life, and I'm getting to the point where I don't ever want to cut my hair off ever again. Am I saying that I won't ever cut my hair off? I might cut my hair. I don't know how I'll feel. But as it stands right now, I don't want to ever cut my hair off ever again. And this is literally my not only hair journey, but this is also my spiritual journey as well. Because like I said, locks are very spiritual and they have a lot of meaning going as far back as the ancient Kemet. So with that being said, my hair is very sacred to me, and this is my journey, this is my evolution. Okay, so you want to embrace your journey. Don't be held down by societal pressures telling you that locks are ugly or that you can't have locks. This is you literally in your most natural state. I woke up like this, minus the hair tie obviously, but I literally woke up like this. I didn't have to manipulate my hair at all. Maybe I shook my head, but that was it. I didn't have to moisturize my hair. I woke up being in my most natural state. And beauty does not come with pain, okay? Beauty does not come with suffering. Beauty is nature, and that's all it is. And we're just an extension of the earth. And with that being said, we're just an extension of our hair, and we're an extension of our crown chakras. But with that being said, I might have rambled on just a little bit. I just get a little bit passionate about my hair and things like that. But with that being said, you already know what's going on. It's a little Malachite piece right here. If you're interested in anything, go to my Instagram in the link tree in the description. Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. I love myself through you. Peace.